Welcome to the Nighthawk Equity Fund of Funds program. My name is Michael Blanc, and I'm one of the managing partners here at Nighthawk Equity and a co-host of the Financial Freedom with Real Estate Investing podcast. Now, since 2017, Nighthawk has done 21 deals and built a portfolio valued at over $350 million. And to achieve this, we've partnered with over 400 passive investors. Now, this video is for you if you can raise at least $500,000 as a fund manager, a capital raiser, or through your own network of qualified investors, and you're looking to partner with a high-quality multifamily operator. Fund managers who are committed to scaling their capital raising and to build a profitable long-term relationship. And we, on the other end, we're dedicated to helping you start and scale your funds. So we not only provide done-for-you setup and ongoing service, but we'll also support you in your capital raising campaign so you can safely achieve and hopefully exceed your capital raising goals. Now in this video, I'm going to go over three things. What is a fund of funds very briefly in case we're new to that, why partner with us, Nighthawk Equity, and then the economics of a partnership, what that could look like. So number one, what is a fund of funds? Nighthawk's fund of funds, or FOF for short, is an offering that is formed to invest directly in an individual multifamily asset. Now, the investors in this multifamily asset are limited partners that consist of individual investors as well as one or more funds. Now, each fund is a separate entity, sometimes referred to as a special purpose vehicle or SPV, that requires its own governing documents, including its operating agreement, private placement memorandum, subscription documents, etc. You got to file for specific exemptions, and this makes it safe and compliant to raise funds for predetermined and familiar private investment. Now, you as a fund manager, you're going to provide services to your investors for which you will be appropriately compensated. For example, you're going to set up the entity, identify the appropriate assets to invest in, do some diligence on the investment, the operator, negotiate best terms for the fund and its investors, and then communicate with your investors and provide ongoing fund administration like distributions and tax services. Now, unlike other syndications that form co-GP partnerships, the Nighthawk Equity Fund of Funds program allows fund managers to raise capital in a more SEC compliant way. It gives them more security and control over their investors and provides better control of the compensation. So why should you partner with Nighthawk Equity? Well, I see four major reasons. Number one, experience. The three partners, Garrett Lynch and Drew Niffman, and I have a combined 34 years of multifamily investing and operations experience. Number two, we have a fairly significant track record, having acquired over 3,000 units since 2017 with many successful exits. Number three, our ability to raise capital, therefore to help you raise capital, raising over $95 million from over 400 investors. And number four, operations. We are a true operator. We have full-time corporate staff to manage our assets, oversee construction, and support our investors and fund managers. If you want to learn more about Nighthawk and visit our portfolio, just go to nighthawkequity.com and check us out there. Now, we want to make starting and scaling a fund as easy as possible. And so we have done-for-you components that includes fund setup, supporting you in your capital raising campaign, and also ongoing fund administration and investor relations. So let's break that down. Number one, done for you fund setup and administration. We're going to support you in establishing and managing your fund. That includes legal and tax related items so you can focus on raising capital and taking care of your investor. Number two is marketing and sales support. We're going to provide support in your live investor webinars and your campaigns. We're going to invite you for an on-site visit to create content and create digital assets to help you save time and money and maximize your capital raising. Number three, investor relations. We're going to help you with investor communications. We're going to provide a dashboard with a data room, send distributions for you that you can pass on to your investor. And number four is tax support. We're going to assist you with getting K-1s to investors. In fact, through our partners, we're going to actually do the K-1s and the taxes for your entity. And we're also going to help you once it's time to dissolve your fund upon exit. Now, last thing for us to discuss is the partnership terms and economics. So in other words, what are projections for you as a fund manager as well as for your investor? So for this to really work, you need to be able to raise a minimum of $500,000. And so therefore, in return, you receive enhanced economics and also profitability for your fund. Now, you are going to create an SPV. We talked about a special purpose vehicle, and this invests in a special class of shares that you get from us. Now, these shares offer better terms than individual investors who invest directly with us would get, right? So those regular ones are Class A shares, and you get special class shares. It could be Class B, C, or D, it doesn't matter. A special class share, and they're designed to yield proportionally higher returns compared to the regular Class A shares. Now, this structure ensures that the fund manager is adequately compensated while also allowing investors to receive returns that are essentially similar to those of regular Class A shares. So in other words, investors that invest with you get about the same returns as investors who invest directly with us, but because of the preferred returns and the terms, the fund actually has a profitability component. So I'm going to go over a quick example of that. Now, note that this is for informational purposes only. You can construct your fund however you want, and every deal is going to be a little bit different. But let's say we have a deal where we're offering regular investors, let's say a 6% preferred return and a 70/30 profit share. Right? Now, your special class shares would get a higher preferred return, let's say 7% in this example, and you'll receive a slightly different profit split, let's say 80/20. All right, so those are preferred returns here that the fund would get for in raising $500,000 or more. Now, let's talk about what this would look like with our recommended fund structures. Now, again, you can structure the fund however you wish, but here's some ideas the way that other people have done it. So the way we recommend allows for fund LPs to earn a similar or even a better return as compared to investing directly in us. And in return then, the fund, you as a fund manager, you charge the fees to your own fund. So for example, you would charge a 1.5 or 2%, say, due diligence fee paid at closing. So if you're raising $1 million, that's $20,000 paid at closing. You may charge a 1/4 point or a 1/2 point fund management fee to the fund on an annual basis. And you may then also charge setup and ongoing administration costs that are hard costs. For example, legal setup, the tax things, all those things. Those are charged to the fund. And again, the way that the preferred terms work is that you're able to cover your fund's expenses plus create a profit margin. So you're going to be making about 10% over capital raised over the year of the hold, about 5 years. So that's typically how it's set up. And again, our goal is to make it as easy as possible to set up your fund, administer it so that you can focus on raising capital and serving your investors. So specifically, that means setup services. We're going to set up the legal through a partner. We have a partner that specializes in setting up funds quickly, cheaply, and safely. And so they're going to cover with us the legal setup, the LLC, the PPM, operating agreement, blue sky filings, the bank account setup. You're going to get a dedicated account manager to help you register investors, onboard them, have them sign legal docs, get the funds into the bank account. We're going to help create a waterfall, a cap table for you that then you can upload into your investor portal, and certainly also upload it into the dashboard that we're going to give you specifically for distributing distributions as well. Also, all fund LP documents are signing and wiring funds. All the back-end services including accreditation verification if that's applicable. So number two, besides fund setup and administration, is marketing and sales. We're going to do an exclusive fund manager day at the property to create content to support your campaign. We're going to create some pro forma fund return calculations so you can quickly determine the returns for you and your investors. We got a big spreadsheet for that, a pro forma for that. Going to create digital assets that you can customize yourself. And then we're going to help you on your investor webinar, actual presentation, the PowerPoint, what to say, pre-written marketing emails that we're going to use for our investors that you can then customize as well. And we've done this so many times, we know what works to maximize the capital raising campaign. Then there's investor relations. We're going to send distributions to the fund's bank account, that's you, and then we're going to distribute that through our partner's dashboard to your actual managers as well. That's going to be set up all the way up front. And then we're going to do ongoing communications about the performance of the asset for the fund manager to relay to your fund's LPs. And you're going to be responsible for bringing that to your LPs. But we're going to make it very easy with our regular communication. We're going to provide you with an investor dashboard to collect soft commits up front, execute documents, make and distributions, and distribute the K1s. We're also in the beginning give you access to our data room that includes financials, underwriting, fund waterfall, return calculations, marketing, drip campaigns, slide decks, raise trackers, and more. Now, obviously, it is your responsibility to provide the appropriate deal documents to your investors, but we're going to provide you everything for you and your investor. Tax time, okay? So there's going to be, through a partner, we're going to handle the fund manager's taxes as well as the K1s, not only for the fund, but also for each fund LP as well. And when time comes, provide dissolution services to resolve the entity. Okay, so if you're committed to scaling your fund and you're looking for a long-term relationship with a high-quality multifamily operator, then we'd love to speak with you more about partnering with us. The next step is for you to complete a short questionnaire and schedule a call. And let's get to know each other, see what your background is, what your track record, what you want to do. And if there's a mutual fit, we'll work out a letter of intent that spells out how we would structure a deal when we get one done. That way we get the big rocks out of the way, so when the deal comes, we can work much more quicker. So, and then when we do have a live deal, we'll finalize the terms and then onboard you onto our fund manager platform so you can start raising capital. So if you're ready to partner with us on our next raise, then let's have a conversation. I'm really excited here to share with you further details about how we can support you, and look forward to learning more about how we can help you accomplish your goals. So click below to book a call. Look forward to the conversation.